Welcome, traders and investors, to the Meet Damien live stream. We're going to look at the price of Bitcoin before we start looking at some altcoins here. Trying to see if there's any altcoins that we can get into that can make us some money, because Bitcoin's been trading sideways for the most part all throughout, the last week or two here. That's what it seems like. So we got to try to find a way to make some money, and when Bitcoin goes sideways, usually that's good for the altcoins to actually start catching some bids and seeing some bullish setups start playing out here. All right, let's get right to it. We're gonna look at Bitcoin first, and then I think we'll take a look at virtual, because that's a cryptocurrency that actually did well today. Let's look at Bitcoin right now. I did mention yesterday, right after we saw Bitcoin, top out and hit this 200 moving average, this red line here, that we could, possibly see us come back up to that red line. And sure enough, that's what we did here earlier this morning. We saw the price of Bitcoin around 8 a.m. Eastern time spike up to like 64,440, and that was right next to this 200 moving average. That's 64,478. And sure enough, we got rejected here. I talked about this last night. I was like, if we're gonna climb up, don't be surprised if you see Bitcoin get rejected, maybe go sideways at the red line. And we didn't really go sideways, we just got rejected. We got rejected, we got sent right back down to lower levels here. I tried picking up a Bitcoin long at this area, and I'm hoping that Bitcoin's going to be able to start to pull itself up to higher prices here. Let's look at the momentum. Do we got momentum to do that? Right now we had selling pressure come in this morning, and then selling pressure starting to die off. So it looks like here on the 1 hour time frame that we might be getting a MEXC crossover to the upside, and maybe see some higher prices later on tonight before my live stream is over here. So that is what I'm anticipating for Bitcoin. Let's see, another momentum indicator would be the market cipher B indicator, and this is showing that a green buy knot came in just now. As soon as I went live, it was time to buy Bitcoin, right? At least that's what the 1 hour time frame is showing here, with the market cipher B green buy knot coming in right now. The blue stuff is your momentum. Momentum was coming down, but now it's starting to curve back up again. And because momentum is curving back up, it's also bringing the money flow, which was going into the negative and in the red here. It's starting to curve back up. So maybe this might be the Bitcoin bounce stream. Maybe we might get a little bit of a rally tonight here, guys, for the price of Bitcoin. But why did Bitcoin dip down like it did this morning? I mean, it did hit that 200 moving average. Let me give her the VRVP indicator here, but it did hit that red line here. Or came close to hitting it. That was an area to try to take some profit here. Earlier today, we did have the CPI report come out. Let me just show that to you guys real quick. We do have to pay attention to the economic news that's out there. And the economic news that came out, that's pretty significant to a lot of traders and investors out all around the world here, is this CPI year-over-year number. We also have the CPI month-over-month number as well. But basically the CPI is your consumer price index here, right? It's basically measuring inflation. And what this is show that inflation just came in as expected. They're expecting 0.1%. It came in at 0.1%. This is month over month change here. And then year over year, they're expecting a 3.4% inflation. And that's what it came in. Last month, it came in at 3.5. So inflation did actually come down a little bit. Not that much, only about 0.1%. But that's enough for for us to measure and figure out, that there's still inflation out there. And because there's still inflation out there, I think that's why Bitcoin took a little bit of a hit this morning here, because if inflation was coming down a lot more significantly than what they were expecting, then maybe we would have seen this price spike up and get above that 200 moving average. But because inflation is still here, it could be a problem. It leads to the Federal Reserve not actually lowering interest rates, okay? And there's also a possibility that the Federal Reserve could still actually raise interest rates if they really want to fight inflation, okay? I don't think that's going to be the case because the guy that's in charge of the Federal Reserve is a Donald Trump guy that got picked by Donald Trump, and Donald Trump doesn't want interest rates to go up, so I don't think that's going to be the case here. But with inflation still being there and not really going down more than they were expecting, the chance of them lowering interest rates is also not going to be on the table either. So I think that's why You got a little bit of a sell-off here this morning here on Bitcoin. Not too crazy, but I think it was like about a 1,000-point drop. We were at like 64,400. We came down today to like 63,400. So about a 1,000-point drop in like about 3 hours time here before Wall Street went out for lunch here. They decided to dump it down here on us this morning. But right now, are we getting any bullish divergence? Let's look at let's see if there's any bullish divergence on a 1 hour time frame. You are kind of making higher lows here on the RSI. That's good to see here after you already made lows here on the price. And then overall, like just look at the 1 hour time frame. You are still making higher lows compared to what you did on Monday and Tuesday. And now we got Wednesday here showing that we're making still higher lows here. So the bulls are showing up to defend these levels near 63K. And 63K is also an important level because if I go to the daily time frame here and I zoom in onto the moving averages here, there is a 50-day moving average, a green line here that's also protecting us from dropping like a rock here. Once we start losing 63K, it could get a little bit nasty and ugly for Bitcoin out there. You do got some candlewick lows here at $62,200. That could save the day there for Bitcoin. But let me go ahead and throw in the VRVP indicator because this is a level. These are levels that I really want to be looking out for. And there's a high volume node here below us at 62,700. I actually got another buy limit long order with 100x leverage ready to go. If we do drop down to 62,700, I actually want to see if I can get in at 62,500, but somewhere around this area. And then also put the stop loss right below these candlewick lows here. I have my stop loss at 62,150 because I'm trying to see if we do drop down, I think we can still make a higher low here and then bounce up to higher prices for Bitcoin. And if we do bounce up to higher prices for Bitcoin in the near the short term here, near the medium term here, we do got the point of control sitting at 64,100. It's only about 500 points above where we are right now. But then we also got a value area high around like 65,500. So I really want to take profit around like 65K to like 65,500 is where I'm trying to take profit on my day trades, my leverage longs here on Bitcoin. But you guys tell me what you're doing with your trades there on Bitcoin. We're going to move on from Bitcoin and move on to a coin that actually did pretty well today, while the rest of the market was like, okay. We saw that Virtuals, if I could just pull up, where's Virtuals? Virtual is having a good day today. Virtuals, what did it do today? It had a nice green candle, up like 10% today. That's great when Bitcoin's going down for this thing to actually go up 10%. What did Virtuals actually do here? Well, if I zoom out, I got the VRVP indicator. This is like this heat map looking thing here for you guys who are wondering, you know, what is the VRVP indicator? It's a visual range volume profile indicator that you can find here on TradingView, and it shows us areas to be looking for Virtual, this asset here. And you do get a value area low, this white line here, sitting around like 51 cents. We actually came down to that yesterday. We came down to like 51 cents. It's a good amount of volume. This is an area that we would expect a little bit of a bounce or a reaction, and we got that. And then that reaction from yesterday led into today, and we're jumping up to higher prices here, obviously with Virtuals. Virtuals, you know, had I spotted this yesterday and I wasn't paying attention to Virtuals, because this is like 1,000 cryptocurrencies to pay attention to. But had I seen this and I was interested in longing Virtuals, I would have longed it here, put the stop loss tight below these candlewick lows here from June. And then I would have probably taken some profit here at the point of control, which we smashed through earlier this morning. No problem. And then up here, there is another high volume node here around like 61 cents. That's about as high as we got today, I think. We got up to like a little bit, maybe a little bit higher, 61.5 cents. So yeah, there's a high volume node, and that's what you got out of this, right? You came right up to that high volume node here. The candlewick got up there, and then you got a sell off. So that probably would have been my take profit target too, had I been long in Virtuals. But I wasn't. But it did catch my attention here because when I went in the crypto bubbles, I was like, what's going on in crypto bubbles today? And yeah, right there in front of my face was Virtuals up 11%. I think it was up like 15% earlier today, and I was like, oh, what's going on here? There's all the cryptocurrencies that are doing pretty well. We got BTW up 22% right now. I kind of want to take a look at that, unless you guys have a request here for me besides what I'm looking at right now. But let me go ahead and get into the chat. I did do a lot of talking there. Let me see what you guys have to say about what I just said there. We got Nasir in the chat. Good to see you. He says, hello, brother. Hello to you as well. And Nasir says, you use it. It helps you a lot. I think you're talking about the VRVP indicator. Yeah, that's my favorite indicator. It helps me figure out the target levels that we should be looking for. Of course, I like looking at the VRVP indicator and looking at other indicators like the Fibonacci, or looking at like maybe the moving averages to figure out if there's any confluence on those VRVP high volume nodes there. If I see confluence, then I know that there's probably a good chance that that node is going to act as a reaction zone, a place that we want to either take profit or maybe enter a trade. All right, let me go into the chat here for YouTube, see what's going on over there. We got Lauren A in the chat, says, hi Damien, keep up the good videos. Oh, thank you Lauren A for the compliment there. We got Silver Day says, let's go Damien with the rocket ship. All right, let's go. Let me know if you have a particular cryptocurrency you want to take a look at. I think I want to take a look at BTW here as one of the other high-flying cryptos that did well today. I'm also trying to see if there's any requests here for my TikTok guys. Let me guys know if there's any cryptocurrencies you want me to go over. We could also talk about stocks. I think I want to take a look at SpaceX as well, because SpaceX had a good day today. Getting back to this, the price that it was at for its IPO, that was pretty cool to see. All right, so I am going to move on to BTW, because we did say that we want to look at altcoins that might be doing pretty well and get into a setup on these assets here. So let's move on from virtual. Virtual already had its trade play out here. Maybe it might continue on to the 100 or the 200-day moving average at like 63 or 65 cents, but I'm not sure how much of a percentage gain is that. I know my leverage traders could try to make that work for them there, but if we get up to that 200-day moving average, it also looks like there's another 10% move up if we get up to that red line, that 200-day moving average there. And I don't really see too much resistance for us to get up there. We just got to get past 61 cents. Get past 61 cents, and I think you could try to make your way up to 65 cents there for virtuals, if you still want to play the long here. All right, moving on from virtuals, let's take a look at BTW. BTW currently trading at 25 cents. I think they call it Bitway here. Obviously had a nice day here on Wednesday, up 26%. This is what it's showing here on TradingView. Data coming off of MEXC Exchange right now. This thing has already been kind of bullish the last couple of weeks here. I have seen this asset show up on Crypto Bubbles, showing a green. Of course, we had a red day here on Saturday, August 8th. This past weekend here. All right, but still making higher lows here, at least on the candle wicks here, and pushing up. Are we about to get a blow off top here on Bitway? Has this thing ever been this high before? When did this thing start trading here on MEXC? March of earlier this year is where we saw this asset's trading at on MEXC Exchange. Okay, so we're in like uncharted territory, price discovery zone. We've never been this high before. The VRVP indicator is not really going to give me any useful information here. I'm going to have to revert to one of my other indicators here, which would be the Fibonacci. Let me go ahead and get rid of the VRVP indicator for now. And let's just game plan this out here. I want to see, from this swing high here, because this was a swing high, and probably take it to the swing, maybe this is the swing low, or that could be the swing low. Take it from like the swing low from June 29th here. We were at like 0.048 pennies here. So I'm going to now do a Fibonacci here, guys, for you. And we want to get the Fib extension levels. So I'm going to measure from the high here, right, on Saturday, because that was a significant high there, to the low here at about 0.048 pennies. And it gives us levels to look for here that we might hit in the near future. We got a 1272 Fibonacci extension level here at 29 cents. We might be able to squeeze out another 4 pennies here before this thing gets rejected at that 1272 Fib extension level at 29 cents. Then we got a 1618 saying that we might even hit 35 cents, almost 36 cents here. So I'm going to go ahead and mark that on the chart here. Let me go ahead and mark that off. This is a level that we want to look for here. And then this is another take profit target 2 that we want to look for to the upside for Bitway. Okay. Now the next thing I want to know is, do we got momentum to actually continue up to higher prices? Let's look at the MACD indicator and the Market Cipher B. MACD is showing that there is buying pressure here, and it was dying down going into Tuesday, and then here on Wednesday, buying pressure started increasing again. I don't see anything here that says that we can't just continue going up to higher prices. I think we might see a blow off top here on Bitway. If you guys want to play the blow off top trade, this one might be it for you. Okay. What would cause me to be a little bit worried about this doing a blow off top or coming down is if I see the blue line start curving down on the daily time frame is what we're looking at. But if I see the blue line curving down, that would be the first warning sign that maybe we're doing the blow off top, and that might be the top. Okay, if that blue line curves down and then comes down to this orange line below and get a MACD crossover to the downside, then that's gonna hurt, because that probably means we're gonna see more selling pressure show up on the chart here. But right now, I think you're looking fine and dandy for higher prices here for Bitway. I think we will see some blow off top action later on here for Bitway. And then here on Market Cipher B, Market Cipher B shows you your momentum. The momentum has been to the upside since like July 20th. This blue stuff is your momentum, and it's been creeping up, going higher. A little bit of a sell-off here, but then creeping up some more. A little bit of a sell-off doesn't mean that we can't get another, creeping up to higher levels here. You are in overbought territory. You're above these red horizontal bars, which is like an RSI indicator that's showing you that you are overbought. But that doesn't mean that you can't stay overbought, because you can see that right now you're still overbought here on the daily time frame on Market Cipher B. But what just happened here? It looks like we got a red sell that just came in tonight. So there might be a little bit more of a correction going on here for Bitway. At least this is saying that there should be a correction, but I don't know. We had like a red sell dot here on Saturday, and then the green buy dot came in on Wednesday. So maybe the green buy dot will come in and save us later on this week and cancel out that red sell dot that we got just now. And keep in mind that this is just the beginning of Thursday. This red dot is showing that this is on Thursday. And Thursday started 25 minutes ago when I started my live stream. In cryptocurrency world, it's like it's considered Thursday right now. And this red dot could get canceled out going into tomorrow if we see higher prices here on Bitway. This red dot could disappear. We have up until 8 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow for this red dot to disappear and still be, good for higher prices here. So just because we have the red dot just right now, it just printed right now, doesn't mean that it's game over for Bitway. All right, but it's a little bit of a caution light there. So we got a caution light here on Market Cipher B for Bitway, and then we got all systems go here on on the MACD indicator here. So we got a little bit of conflicting signals for the momentum indicators here. And then here on the RSI is overbought. We're at 75 on the RSI right now. Although you can see that we've been overbought since like August 4th, like about a week now. So this is what I mean, like we could be overbought and stay overbought. Being overbought is anything above 70 here on the RSI. We've seen it as high as like 83 on Friday last week, and right now we're at 75. So we can stay overbought, and we're going to need to stay overbought if we're going to see those higher prices here for Bitway. If we're going to see 29 cents or even 35 cents for sure, you're going to have to stay overbought to get to those levels, to be honest with you. All right, let me see what you guys are saying on the chat so far. I don't know why TikTok hid your comment here, Caribou. I'm gonna go ahead and approve that comment here. Caribou did say, what did you say? You said hello, and then you said something about Clarity Act, but then oh, I don't know, the comment just disappeared. All right, there it is. When the bulls start, we'll start with the Clarity Act. So the Clarity Act didn't get voted on. We were hoping that it would get voted on last week before Congress went on their vacation, but Congress went on their vacation this Sunday, and they won't be back in session again until the middle of September. So I was expecting a little bit of a correction on Bitcoin because of that, and I think we did get that this weekend going into the beginning of this week. We could still get more of a correction on Bitcoin and crypto here, but just because it didn't get voted on doesn't mean that it won't be voted on. Okay, there's a chance that they might try to put it up for vote on September, so that's actually good for the price of Bitcoin. It's still going to feed hopium into the bulls here. And prevent any price drop that we do see in Bitcoin from being severe, in my opinion, because they still got the Clarity Act. Once the Clarity Act passes, and the price of Bitcoin is not getting any more positive catalysts after that, then we might see a sell off right after like a sell the news event here on Bitcoin after that Clarity Act gets passed. So that could happen in September, maybe even October if they keep kicking the can down the road. But they need to get the votes in, and I think they're going to try to get that in before they're going to try to vote on it before the November midterm election, just to get people on the record about how they are going to vote on that. But from what I understand, they don't have enough votes, not enough Republicans. Some small town Republicans in like Midwest states with like smaller regional banks are fighting it tooth and nail, and they're not able to get those Republicans to actually agree to vote. So they actually need more Democrats to actually replace the Republicans that could have been voting yes to that bill. So that's the whole quagmire that they got going on in Congress right now. And it's not just the Clarity Act. There's other bills that are not getting passed because Congress is fighting each other. Everybody is like, at each other's throats. No one wants to support Donald Trump and his Trump administration and give him a win right before the midterms. So I think that's what we're seeing there with the Clarity Act, to be honest with you. Thank you, Shafi, for sending me the heart me. Appreciate that. Just checking up on the comments here. See a few people have followed me here on TikTok. That's good to see here. And then let me go back to the YouTube chat here, see what's going on over there. We got Sir Naptime is in the chat here. He says, "Sup, PIMP." How you doing, Sir Naptime? Let me know if you got any requests here, Sir Naptime. We actually looked at the virtuals, and we looked at Bitway here as well as Bitcoin. We can always go back and look at Bitcoin again. Bitway right now is looking pretty bullish, and I think it might want to pop up to higher prices here still. And I gave it the targets 29 cents and 35 cents. If for some reason we're going to get a correction here, I would expect a normal pullback back to the 618 golden pocket here at the 16 or 17 cents here is where I would expect Bitway to drop down to this level here, make a higher low, and then just continue on if it wants to continue on to higher prices here. Alright, let's move on to SpaceX, which had a pretty decent day today. Up 9%. Almost 10%. SpaceX got as high as about $149.60. Basically back to the IPO price. Like we saw SpaceX trading on June 12th there for the first time ever on the NASDAQ. It was opening up at $150. And today we got up to like $149.60. So whoever bought here in the beginning and didn't take their profits and held on and stuck it in for the loss here, they're back to break even at this point here for the most part on SpaceX. But whoever was doing this as a quick flip and they didn't sell when SpaceX went up basically 50% from the IPO price here, and they suffered through all this and they're not in it for the long term here, they can actually get out near break even at $150. So I'm expecting a lot of selling pressure at $150 to like $160. Let me go ahead and turn the VRVP indicator. You're going to see where people were actually buying and selling SpaceX using this VRVP indicator. And the majority of people that bought and sold SpaceX, or I guess most of them just started buying it, the majority of them were buying it at $158. This is that dark blue line here. This is your point of control, POC, is what we call it here in trading world here. And I'm expecting if we do climb up to $158, I'm expecting to get rejected. because whoever is paper handing SpaceX, they're probably going to sell at break even at 158 bucks. You also got the 0.382 at $152. That's another area that could get sold. And then look at this. This 0.382 is confluent with the high volume node here at 152 bucks. So I think anywhere between 152, 158 should be a target zone for the day traders that are day trading SpaceX for their longs there. And this is an area where we might want to entertain the idea of maybe shorting SpaceX for a quick day trade. I would pay attention to what SpaceX does tomorrow or later on this week. If it spikes up to that $158 level, it might be time to take profit on your longs and also flip it into a reverse trade here. Try to short it and see if it comes back down to lower prices. If it does come down to lower prices, you're able to get it at the POC. I mean, you could do a quick partial profit here at $152 where that other high volume node is at and the 0.382 is at. Or you can see if you could take even more profit if this thing does drop back down to this other high volume node here around like 135 bucks, which is where that 0.236 level is hanging out at. I'm trying to zoom in here for you guys, but we do get a 0.236 at $135. Okay, that is another area where we could take profit on a short here. But yeah, I think as far as like SpaceX go, let me just let this thing refill itself up. I think, you know, full of longs, you got a little bit of a rally here right after they reported their earnings. Earnings were decent. They didn't, I mean, they lost money, but they didn't lose as much as they were expecting. Like, they reported earnings per share losing only 9 cents when people were expecting them to lose 23 cents per share. So that was an earnings surprise to the upside here. And that was enough for people to start bidding up SpaceX again. Okay, so yeah, I think this rally is probably still good to go to higher prices here, but we're getting close to our targets with the VRVP indicator and the Fibonacci here. Let's see, do we got momentum to continue doing this? I think I might have to drop to like the 1 hour time frame here. Let's look at the 1 hour time frame for SpaceX. MACD, you got buying pressure here after having a little bit of selling pressure on Tuesday. But buying pressure is here, and towards the end it looked like it was starting to die off a little bit here, but that doesn't mean that you can't just see buying pressure start increasing again going into tomorrow morning. And then as far as like the market cipher B indicator, yeah, you are getting a red sell dot here, and that's what I was saying. Like we're at the level where we were at for IPO. So whoever bought IPO, and if they're not in it for the long term here, if they're trying to make a quick flip of this, and they didn't sell at 200 bucks like they could have, they can at least break even at 150 bucks. And you know, this red sell dot coming in right now, it kind of makes sense. You're at overbought territory. These red horizontal bars are your overbought bars here in the market cipher B indicator that I got. You got a top signal, literally says top here for the 1 hour time frame. Might make sense to take profit and maybe enter a short. For those of you who actually own SpaceX and don't want to actually sell your shares, you can probably do the next best thing and sell some call options against your SpaceX. You do some options trading, or maybe get into a put option and buy a put option. It's another way to play SpaceX if you don't want to sell your shares. Okay, so here we go. You know, SpaceX RSI on the 1 hour time frame is overbought, but it's curving down now. For those of you who want to trade SpaceX, right, you could do that here on these cryptocurrency exchanges. Like I use WEEX cryptocurrency exchange. Let me see if I can move over to WEEX here. Okay, over here on the WEEX exchange, this is the cryptocurrency exchange I like to trade on. They also trade traditional finance. They call it TradFi. Let me see if I can click on this and it takes me over to TradFi here. But here on TradFi, if it give a chance to load up here, but you have like different stocks you can trade. SanDisk, okay. You can trade gold if you want, silver. There's SpaceX right there. Okay, so you can actually trade SpaceX. You just type in SPCX, and there it is right there. So for those of you who own shares in SpaceX and you have a cryptocurrency exchange, you can do futures trading against your SpaceX shares. You can actually enter a short here, right? You can do, how much leverage can you do? For the short, you can probably short all the way up to like 100x leverage. They'll let you do 100x leverage here against SpaceX. They do single stock futures here on WEEX Exchange, right? Just tell them how much you want to put in for margin there, and I don't know. Let's see if we're gonna take. Let's just game plan this one out, right? Put like maybe like 18-20 bucks into this trade here. Right now, it's saying like 18 bucks is what I put in there. And I want to short it down to like 135 was that Fibonacci node to the downside. I could be up about like 160% here, make 28 bucks on the trade. Oh, I'm sorry, I got that as a stop loss. I didn't mean to do that as a stop loss. I want to do this as a short, right? So short, I'll probably put the stop loss 152 maybe. Or maybe even 155. So I could lose $19. And then I want to take profit at 135. Yeah, so I would still make about about $28 and 160% gains using how much leverage? 20x leverage on that short right there. So that's just something that you do. You could just make some money. If you think SpaceX is going to go down, but you don't want to sell your shares, you can do it here on a cryptocurrency exchange. You can do it here on WEEX with a single stock futures here. And if you guys want to trade on WEEX Exchange, I do have the link here for my TikTok guys. I have it listed right here in the bio. There's the link for WEEX. The VIP code. Make sure you got the VIP code. The referral code is XVDP, so I can get that referral credit. You can also click on the Linktree link here. And Linktree link will also have the WEEX Exchange referral link there as well. Okay. Also, there's other cryptocurrency exchanges. I believe MEXC trade. I haven't looked at MEXC lately to see if SpaceX is on there, but I'm pretty sure it is. And then also Bitunix is another cryptocurrency exchange. But yeah, all these exchanges are now starting to do stock market as well as crypto. So you can do that here on these exchanges here. And for my YouTube guys, you got the Linktree link right there in the description to the channel there. You click on that Linktree link there on the Meet Damien YouTube channel. It'll take you to the Linktree link, and there you go. You can click on WEEX Exchange, and you'll have the referral bonus link there, and get ready to go. You can start trading this tonight, right? One thing I like about WEEX is that they don't have KYC, so you can actually get started with a phone number or an email, and you can be trading SpaceX right now. All right, let me get back into the chat here. Let's see. Wow, someone's spamming the chat here on TikTok. ASIM, what is your deal? How many times are you gonna keep saying APR coin here? How about this? Go ahead and follow me since you want to spam me. And then I'll look at your coin there, APR coin. I don't even know. I've never heard of that. Are you sure you're not like trying to shill a coin that you just created here? Because I'm not going to do that if I got to go on Dex Screener, I'm not going to go on Dex Screener. But if I have to go on Dex Screener to go find that coin, then I'm sorry, I can't help you out with that. Nasir said that went too high. That's why. Shafi wants to take a look at Uniswap. Just out of curiosity, I want to see what is APR. APR coin. Oh, there is an APR coin here. A prior. So it looks like it does trade on MEXC Exchange here. Looks like it's in a rally here. Bull run. Let me see what is done over the day. What the hell? Up 193% today? Have you ever been this high before? We have. Looks like this thing started trading here in October of last year. I don't know what this is all about, but what I can tell you is that you were trading in the range here. The value area low sitting at like 7 cents. Value area high sitting at about like 24 cents. And you were ping-ponging between the value area high and the point of control for like the last few weeks here, since the beginning of June. And looks like you're finally getting a bounce off the POC. You punch right through the value area high like it didn't even exist. And now you're at these crazy levels here, sitting at about like 56 cents. The VRVP indicator doesn't have any volume nodes there. Most of the trading action, most people have been buying APR coin anywhere between like 24 cents and 7 cents here. So you're in kind of like uncharted territory for the most part, even though you have been here back in October of last year. That's it. So I don't know what else we can do for analysis here besides like, all right, this thing had a really good day here. However, I'm worried like we could come down just as fast as we came up, right? You could get like a pump and dump out of this. If we do dump down, looks like there's some high volume node here at 27, 28 cents here. Okay. And then of course you got the value area high at 24 cents. But I don't know what we can make of this here. The only thing I can do is maybe do a Fibonacci on this. Let's go ahead and do a Fibonacci here. Let's see, what am I going to count? This as a swing low right here. Swing low to swing high. Boom. Okay. Could get a nice shallow retracement to the 0.236 at 51 cents here. A normal retracement would take it to the golden pocket of like 31, 32 cents. And then the deep retracement could take you down to like 25 cents. And I said, you know, looking at the VRVP indicator, like 24, 25 cents was where we saw that value area high sitting at. So a deep retracement could take you down here and also hit that value area high as well. So this would be a really good area to try to buy back in again if you're able to. But a normal retracement should take you down to this golden pocket area around like 31, 32 cents. And that's what I would expect, you know, like unless this thing can just continue being bullish, I would expect the next thing, especially in cryptocurrency world, would be a retracement down to lower levels here. And you got these levels here to look at for your Fibonacci here. All right, moving on from APR, we'll take a look at Uniswap. And then I gotta see what my YouTube guys are saying over there. We got DZ in the chat and Justin Crypto. Justin Crypto says, "What if I could change your life?" Oh man. What is DZ? DZ's over here talking about Violet Myers. Oh my god. DZ says, let's look at some Latinos. Let's look at Violet Myers. Do I like Violet Myers? Violet Myers is a good one. Aya Knox is another good one as well. Are we really talking about this? If I want to see some Latinas, I just go down to Latin America. I go to Costa Rica. It's my favorite place to go. Right now, I like my girl Christine. How about that? She might even be watching the live stream right now, so I gotta be careful what I say here. I might be getting myself in trouble. But I like the Christine. I think you guys seen her on the YouTube and TikTok streams. So she is Costa Rican. I think her family's from Nicaragua. So there you go. That's what I like. Rich and smart. Yeah. Yeah, you guys are gonna get me in trouble. DZ's trying to get me in trouble over here. DZ wants to take a look at VV and Ondo. Alright. And then Rich, Sir Naptime wants to look at Hex and on Pulse Chain. Okay. Uh-oh, did I get myself in trouble with TikTok because I was talking about the cryptocurrency exchanges over here? Alright, let me go ahead and write this down. We gotta look at Hex after Uniswap, and then VVV, maybe Ondo. I don't know if Christine has a TikTok or YouTube, to be honest with you. I don't think she has a YouTube channel. She might have a TikTok now. Crypto Cruise wants to take a look at Apple. Alright. We got some requests to go through here. And then I see some things going on over here. Nasir says 26 cents. Nasir says you're gonna post on the Discord your gains. All right, cool. All right, let's get back to work here. We're looking at Uniswap, currently trading at $3.56 right now. I got the VRVP indicator on one more time. Why not? It's gonna show us levels to be paying attention to here. Looks like we came right down to the point of control. Point of control, dark blue line, is sitting at $3.51. A good majority of people were buying Uniswap at $3.51, pretty much all throughout 2026 here. So this should be a support level for Uniswap. Could we get a bounce here? Well, maybe, because look at this. You also got the 200-day moving average right here. I think we were talking about this a few days ago. I think you requested Uniswap. I was saying, like, if we do drop down, we could drop down to 200 moving average and also the point of control here and get a bounce here. I think that's what we're going to get right now for Uniswap. There's also a 50-day, this green line here. So we're right at it. You know, we're right where I would expect support for Uniswap. And if we're going to continue being bullish here, get a bounce here, come back up. There's a little bit of high volume here at like $4. That could be a little bit of a resistance zone. But yeah, I think this is the next target. The upside is going to be $4 here with that VRVP indicator. And I highlighted 431. I'm not sure why. I think this was like previous support and resistance, or there might have been like a volume node there. Yeah, if I zoom out, you can see, yeah, well, maybe I need to change this because the value area low is now sitting right here. So it's actually 447. So 447 is another level to be paying attention to here on Uniswap for targets to the upside. So I think targets to the upside, we're looking for $4 and then 447. And if Uniswap is not going to be bullish here, if we're just going to just continue dropping and acting as if this point of control don't mean anything, then a little bit of volume here at 324 and some more volume here at $3, roughly $3.04. So mark that on your chart there, 324 and 304 for your downside targets on Uniswap, with the handy dandy magical VRVP indicator here, giving you the actual levels to be looking for, not just the moving averages. If there was moving averages here, I would be like, all right, so there's a confluence between the moving average and the VRVP indicator. Should definitely be a level to look out for, but I don't see any confluence here. All I see is on the VRVP indicator, you got high volume here and high volume here, okay? And I think those are levels to be paying attention to if we do drop down on Uniswap. Alright, moving on from Uniswap, we'll take a look at Hex on Pulse Chain. Hex USD. I'll just type in Hex, see what comes up, and put crypto here. So there's so many coins here. I'm not sure which one. I'm just gonna click on this. That shows it as delisted. Maybe this one. Let me know if this is the right price here, Rich. I have Hex on Pulse Chain trading at 0.002768 pennies right now. I don't know if that's the actual asset. Are these the droids you are looking for? Mr. Sainsbury. Let me go back in the chat and see if that's the actual coin that we want to look at right now. Alright, Rich says yes, that's the one we want to look at. Crypto Cruz says, have I ever used the Eco Mochu Cloud? You just heard about it today? No, I don't really. I've heard about that myself. I don't really use it. There's just the thing is that if I put on all these indicators here, like the VRVP indicator, the moving averages, and then I got these other indicators on the bottom, and then I throw in the Ikamuchu Cloud. I mean, that's just gonna be so overwhelming. You know, my chart's gonna look like Rich's chart, and we're gonna have like one big giant laser show going on here, and it's gonna be really hard to pay attention to like what we're trying to do here. Okay, so usually one indicator at a time, and I usually stick to just the ones that I stick to, which is like the VRVP indicator, the moving averages here. I'll do a Fibonacci as well if I need to, and then of course I use the RSI indicator, so that way I can identify bullish and bearish divergences to see when an asset's about to do a reversal on us. And then I'll look at the market cipher B as my momentum indicator here, literally with the momentum in it. And then I'll use the MACD indicator as another momentum indicator. And that's it. I think, you know, after that, you end up having too many indicators, and then you'll get what we call paralysis by analysis, where it's really hard to make a decision because there's just so much to analyze. You know, like, oh, what do I do? What do I do? And then you end up missing out on the trade because you're too overwhelmed with all this analysis that you're trying to do. Paralysis by analysis is what they call it. And I don't want to have paralysis by analysis, so I usually stick to a few indicators that I like to use, and that's it. At the end of the day, all we're doing is just trying to figure out how to buy low and sell high, right? Like, we want to sell high, maybe enter a short, sell high, and then we want to buy low, take profit on the short, and maybe go long. That's all we're trying to do here as day traders and swing traders. All this indicator stuff kind of complicates things a little bit, kind of makes things a little bit easy to understand if you know what you're looking at and what you're doing with them. But at the end of the day, we're just trying to justify, should we get into a long or should we get into a short? That's all these indicators are doing for us. And I just don't need too many of them. There's so many of them, and I only stick to the ones that I like to use. And if you want to watch someone else use the Ikomochi Cloud, I'm not sure how to say it, but if you want to see someone else use that indicator, then you might have to watch another YouTube or TikTok channel for that. But I'm pretty big on the VRVP indicator. A lot of people come onto my channel just to see what that is, and they ask me questions about it all the time because not too many people are using that volume profile indicator. So that's like my big magic indicator that I like to use. Anyways, let's get back to the analysis here for Hex Coin. I am using the VRVP indicator here. This is showing data going all the way back to like March of earlier this year. So I think that's a good data set for us, and it's showing that the majority of people were buying Hex around this dark blue line is what we call the point of control, sitting at 0.001325 pennies. That's going to be a support level if we ever drop down to that level. But what else will be a support level before we even hit the point of control? It's going to be this value area high sitting at about 0.002267 pennies here. Okay, that also happens to be right where that 21 EMA, this white line's at for the daily time frame. So I'm expecting this should be a support level before we even get down to these lower levels here for Hex. Okay. Yeah. So that's what I see here for Hex. Yeah, there's a little bit of volume here and a little bit of volume here. We're kind of like hanging out right here at 0.00277 pennies. I guess Rich wants to figure out if are we going to continue on this rally or not. Hex has seen better days here in 2025. It looks like I'm going to read the indicators now, so it kind of looks like a naked chart here. But I mean, this looks like we're doing a rounded bottom. Maybe at some point this will turn into like a cup and handle for you chart patterning guys out there. This could end up becoming the bottom of the cup, and then maybe we make a handle and then we launch up to higher prices after that. I'm going to go ahead and throw on the moving averages on. You're above all the moving averages, so you are being bullish. This is a lot more bullish than a lot of altcoins out there. And a lot more bullish than Bitcoin. Bitcoin's below, you know, a couple of moving averages. But this one is above all the moving averages on the daily time frame. So I would say HEX is starting its own bull market, bull run right here. Wouldn't we like to see Bitcoin do this? Imagine Bitcoin could do this. People would get a lot more excited about crypto and Bitcoin if we could see Bitcoin get above its 2-day moving average. I'll go right back to Bitcoin so you can see what I'm talking about. But let me finish up the analysis here on HEX here. All right, so I do want to do a Fibonacci extension and see if we're going to hit some extension levels here. So let's go ahead and draw a fib here. We topped out here on July 30th. I'm going to call this a swing high here. I'm sorry, July 31st. We topped out at 29.41. I'm going to take this all the way down to, I think, the swing low here back on June 8th. We got as low as 644 roughly. And Fibonacci extension levels to the upside, we got a 1272 at, we're just going to call this 3,559. So we'll mark that on the chart there for Rich here. That's your first take profit target to the upside there, Rich. And then the second take profit target is going to be the 1618 at 43.48. That's another level to be looking for there, Rich. All right. And then let's see. Do we got momentum to actually hit those levels? Let's see what the Market Cypher B is doing here. Momentum has already been to the upside for last few weeks here, going into like the middle of July here. And momentum looks like it topped out here on the end of July. And you got a green buy dot that came in, but then you got a red sell dot. It's starting to make a lower high here. Doesn't mean that you can't still climb up to higher prices here, but the momentum that you had in July is just not as strong as what you're getting here in August for HEX coin. But I mean, this is still good. I mean, this still looks good here. I'm just worried though that you did get the caution light here. You got the red sell dot that came in on Tuesday here. So just be careful with that. And then the other momentum indicator here, MEXC is showing that we did have buying pressure all throughout July, going into August here, but now the buying pressure is dying down here. The trend is looking like it's not going to be your friend, and the blue line here looks like it's about the MEXC moving average blue line here is about to cross the orange line to the downside. This is your signal line here, and that looks like if it does that, then you're going to see lower prices here for HEX, yeah. And I already give you the level to look out for below. I think this 21 EMA makes sense here for the level to be looking for maybe a bounce off that 21 EMA if we do come down there. So that's sitting at like 22.48. Alright, so that's HEX. We gotta move on and take a look at VVV. And yeah, let me I just want to check the chat here, see what Rich had to say about that analysis there. He didn't really say anything. Okay. Alright. Moving on from HEX, we'll take a look at VVV. For DZ. DZ. We're looking at VVV for DZ. Guys, don't forget to smash the like button, especially if I'm analyzing your favorite cryptocurrency coin for free here. The least you can do is smash that like button so that way YouTube knows that we have a good live stream here and they can show this stream to like other people who could benefit from this analysis here. Alright, I'm going to get rid of this previous analysis here on VVV. VVV, on the daily time frame, you're above the 200-day moving average, but you're below the 100, the 50, and the 21 EMA, kind of preventing you from going up to higher prices here. I mean, look at this, to the T. Like, you're getting rejected off the 50 moving average. You come back up to it again, you're getting rejected. Come up to it again, you're getting rejected. You're getting rejected off the 50 moving average, right? It keeps pushing you back into the locker, not letting you breathe here and go up to higher prices. Get past that 50-day moving average, I think you might get the permission to come up to this 100 moving average and try to pick a fight with this one here. And that's sitting at about $13.90. That could be your next target to the upside. Looking at just these moving averages alone here. Zooming out right now because I want to pull up that VRVP indicator here. And this VRVP indicator is showing point of control. Majority of people were buying VVV at $11.52 roughly, somewhere around there. You also got the value area low really tight there too. More people were buying it at $11.26 as well. So $11.20 to like $11.50. Good sweet spot to try and buy some cheap VVV. And then where would you put the stop loss? Maybe below this next high volume node here at like 1060 or like 1050, below that volume node there. Because there's a chance that we could lose the point of control and the value area low and still come down to this high volume node here at like 1070. And if you put your stop loss at like 1040, 1050, you might just magically bounce off that level there. And you might be able to catch a really good long here on VVV if you can get in at 1070. But right now you do got support. It's showing that there should be support here at 1150 and 1126. Value area low and point of control. And I just feel like you're tightening up and coiling up for a move, a significant move to one way or the other. With these moving averages getting so close to each other, you got the 200 trying to catch up to the price action. You got the 50 and the 20 EMA right next to each other. We could just see an explosive move to the upside here, and that could take you up to that 100-day moving average or this high volume node here, sitting between like $13 to like $13.50. So I think there could be an explosive move here up to like $13 here for Venice token. But we are coiling up, and I don't know, if Bitcoin starts dropping down to like 50 or 40K here, I would expect VVV to also try to join Bitcoin on the nosedive down the lower prices, and we might see VVV try to hit this high volume node here at 1070, or maybe even hit this 200 moving average, which is currently at 99. Remember, this is a moving target, so this thing will creep its way up to higher levels here as the days go by here. And look at this. If VVV starts, dropping down to lower prices here, we might actually hit that high volume node and also hit the 200-day moving average later on in the future here. They might be have shown confluence here. That 1070 is the area to just try to get a bounce off of VVV. So we shall see. We shall see. Nothing's guaranteed, but this is how I'm game planning things out for your VVV token here. Alright, moving on from VVV, we'll take a look at Ondo. Ondo currently trading at 33 cents. We have done lots of analysis here on Ondo. I think I'm gonna get rid of VRVP for now. Just looking at moving averages, you got 200 moving average below you at 31 cents. That should act as support for those who are playing the moving averages here. It would probably be game over for Ondo if it loses 31 cents here. And let's see. If we're just gonna magically go up to higher prices here, I'm not sure why. But I'm gonna turn the VRVP indicator to see if there is a magic level down there. And we are at a high volume node here at 33 cents, so this is a somewhat hidden magic level here that could act as support. But there's also a level here, the value area low at 31 cents. You got that value area low there that could provide support there for Ondo. right next to that 200 moving average, which is also at like 31 cents. So I think 31 cents could be a better area to try to buy Ondo or take a long if that's what you want to do here. And then to the upside, I mean, you see there's high volume here near that 50-day moving average at 35 cents. And then you got the point of control is your highest volume node out of all the nodes here. And that's sitting at like 36, 37 cents. So to the upside, I think 35, 36, 37 cents is all you're going to get out of Ondo. Nothing too crazy, nothing to write home the mound about. But for some people, that might be enough. You know, a 10% move up in price. And I think that's all you're going to get out of Ondo in the near to short-term future here. Once you can get up to like 36, 37 cents and actually stay at that level and not, you know, get rejected and go down to lower prices here, the volume on the VRV indicator drops off. There's some high volume here at 38 cents. Could be another take profit target to the upside. Then you got another high volume node here at 40 cents, and then you got the value area high at 42 cents, and that's all you're gonna get out of this asset. There's nothing really crazy about Ondo. You know, if we go, you know, from where we are right now, let's just see. If we go from where we are right now, 33 cents up to that value area high, it's about a 28% move up, and I think that's all you're gonna get for now for Ondo until, I don't know, Clarity Act passes and people go nuts on crypto. I think that's all you're gonna get for Ondo's 42 cents. Alright, moving on from Ondo, we'll take a look at a stock now. Another stock, Apple, for requests here. I believe that came from Crypto Cruise. Wait, Apple on Coinbase. No, we want to look at Apple, the actual stock, Apple. Let me fix that. Apple trading on the NASDAQ. Yep, that's what we want. And yeah, I believe it was Crypto Cruise, right? Yeah, Crypto Cruise asked for Apple. Silver Days says, like button smash. Thank you, Silver Days, for smashing that like button. DZ says, dude, I need like $9 VVV and 25-cent Ondo. Those are your targets. All right, DZ, I wish you the best of luck. I hope that works out for you. I'm still hoping for Bitcoin to come down to $42,069 because it's got 420 and 69 all in one number. And I think that is a high volume node for Bitcoin that we could hit later on in the future if, you know, things get really bearish out there. But Bitcoin's been hanging out at 60K, and it makes me wonder, are we ever going to see 42K? We might not see 42K this year or ever. But we shall see. We shall see. Alright, we are looking at the price of Apple, currently trading at $301.80 is what I see for overnight after market hours here. And Apple, what do we got here? I mean, just look at the market structure. It is bullish, right? You've been making low, high, higher low, higher high. Could this be another higher low before we launch up to higher prices here? Don't you know? I don't know. For those who are playing moving averages, you're probably a little bit disappointed that Apple lost the 50-day moving average, and not only that, but it lost it, back tested it here on Tuesday, and then here we are continuing to lose it. So I don't know if Apple is going to continue being bullish here, because it looks like we are now on our way down to low prices here. 100-day moving average, if you're a moving average guy, that's sitting at 292. That could be another fight for the bulls to put up, because look, I mean, we put up a fight here on the 100-day moving average towards the end of June of, you know, last month, right? Or 2 months ago. And it worked. Could we come down to the 100-day moving average one more time and see history repeat itself and get a bounce off that 100-day moving average? It did it in June. Maybe we can do that again here in August. But on our way down there is, you know, on VRVP indicator, this high volume here between where we are right now all the way down to like 290. So for those who are interested in buying some cheaper Apple, 290, 292, I think that's your sweet spot right now using the VRVP indicator here. Could it get any sweeter than that? Maybe you drop down even further. There's a gap in the VRVP indicator, and then you get a high volume node here at 281. Right next to that 2-day moving average, we're just sitting at 280. So I think it's very easy just analyzing Apple right now. It's like we might see 290 or we might see 280. High volume nodes there are confluent with the moving averages as well. If you don't know how to use the VRVP indicator, shame on you. No, I'm only kidding. But if you don't want to use the VRVP indicator and you're still learning how to use the VRVP indicator, what you could do is just use the moving averages, and that could be your targets, right? The 100 moving average and the 200 moving average. But if you do know how to use the VRVP indicator, then you can put that on, and you can see that this justifies that 280 and 290 makes a lot of sense here for targets to bounce off of for Apple. And if you want to learn about the VRVP indicator, I will do the shameless plug. We do got a VRVP indicator video here on TikTok, pinned to the top of the channel. There it is right there. You can learn as much as you can and click on the video. About a 15-16 minute video here where I go over how to set it up and then how I trade with it. Okay. So I'm not going to make you guys watch that entire video. You can watch that on your own time. For my YouTube guys, right, we do have that VRVP indicator video, and it's on the videos section in the Meet Damien YouTube. You just scroll down and you should see a video that says VRVP indicator right there. And you click on that, about a 16-minute video there, and it will teach you how to set it up and how to trade with it. I am also working on the trading course here, guys, and I did another video on the VRVP indicator along with the Fibonacci indicator. And I can't wait to release that to you guys. I'm going to try to release those videos later on this week. So be on the lookout. This weekend is when I'm hopefully going to try to get those videos out. Maybe Friday at the earliest. And those videos will be free. Free for you to watch. Go ahead and share them with your friends and family who are also trying to learn about the charts here. And then eventually I will probably make that a, you guys might have to join like the membership here on YouTube or the membership on TikTok to watch those videos, but they'll probably be free for at least a month or two, I think. Solo Lux says, can I do Canton? Like Canton, Massachusetts? Canton, I don't think I ever heard of Canton. Is that a cryptocurrency or stock? Let me know. But let me finish up here on Apple. I gave you the bearish case for Apple. If it's going to continue down 100-day and 200-day, very easy. Spotting on the chart. 100-day did work like a charm back in June. So maybe it will work again for us. To the upside, if Apple's going to just not be bearish and actually climb its way back up to higher prices, you do got a point of control. $310 is right where that point of control is at. And then you got the value area high sitting at 317. This would be a target zone to the upside for the day traders, swing traders trying to take profit on their Apple shares, or if you're trading Apple. You can trade Apple here on WEEX Exchange. Let me show that to you guys real quick. Here on WEEX, you go with the TradFi on the futures here. You guys see the TradFi, traditional finance. You just type in AAPL here, and you can trade Apple. Let me go ahead and favorite this one too. You can trade Apple here on WEEX Exchange, and you can see that the price is actually moving right now as we speak, right? Like there it is, $302.42. So you got live price action here on Apple. Trade it even on the weekends if you want to. And how much leverage could you do here? I think it's like 100x leverage, right? You can probably do like 100x leverage if you want. I usually play around with like 20 or 30x leverage. I don't really go too crazy on the leverage unless I need to. But yeah, you could trade leverage and trade it here on WEEX Exchange. And the link is in the description to this video that you're watching here on YouTube. And for my TikTok guys, I mean, all you gotta do is go over here to the bio and you got the link for WEEX Exchange right there. Make sure you got the VIP code there, XBDP, to take advantage of the bonus rewards. And so that way I can get credit for referring you to WEEX here. But yeah, you can trade WEEX if you want to. Trade Apple here on WEEX. And I just think targets the upside is going to be 310 and 317 for now. And then we'll see if Apple can ever get back up to its, I'm assuming that's the all-time high, right? We never went higher than 344. But that will be also another target to the upside. Yeah, Apple has never been that high. 344 is the highest price that we've seen for Apple. Well, you know, this is a bullish asset that's been going up and to the right for like the longest time here, right? It kind of makes you wonder, why would you ever get into crypto if you just get into Apple and just continue watching this thing go up and to the right forever and ever and ever? I guess sometimes Bitcoin does it faster and exponentially, but then Bitcoin ends up having like a bad year or two, and then, you know, then no one wants to get into Bitcoin anymore. Except for the true die-hard crypto fans and guys who are going to make a lot of money in the next year or two, because you guys are here watching this live stream. And if you're getting into crypto now, I think you're gonna pat yourself on the back, you know, next year or 2 or 3 years from now, when Bitcoin will be probably above 100 grand again, and maybe even above 200 or maybe even touching 500 grand at some point. I mean, I think Bitcoin could do a 10x. We'll take a look at Bitcoin before we finish this live stream. But there was a request for Canton. Canton is a crypto, is what Solo Lux is saying here. Alright, Solo Lux, I got you. We'll take a look at Canton for you. Canton Network. Looks like it's trading on MEXC Exchange. Alright, Canton is having a little bit of a nosedive right now. I'm just trying to get the bigger picture view here. It looks like I started trading here on November of last year. It was having somewhat of a decent 2026, especially during the beginning of 2026. But I got the VRVP indicator here, because why not? This is showing that the majority of people bought Canton at this dark blue line. That's your point of control at 7.076 pennies. That's an area that I would expect a bounce and a reaction for sure. Although looking at this VRVP indicator, you do got other levels you could bounce off. There's a high volume here between 8 cents, like 8.5 cents, down to like 0.083, and then you also got something here like 8 cents itself. So once you start seeing like 8 cents show up here, that should be a trigger for you to maybe possibly go long and try to buy some spot bags of Canton if that's what you want to do. But for sure, if you do see like 7.5 cents here, where that point of control's at, that'd be another area where I would try to buy some cheap spot bags of Canton if I could. Because the VRVP indicator is showing that that should be your support level. Right now, we're kind of hanging out near a resistance level. This is your value area high. Especially when the price is above, price is below that value area high. That value area high should act as resistance. Sitting at 0.101 pennies, a little bit above 10 pennies here. I think we're going to play around with this for a little bit. Maybe try to create some support here before we yoink our way up to higher prices. And if we do, there's a high volume node here at 11 cents. That's it. You know, about a 10% move up in price. And I think you could take some profit there at 11 cents. 11 cents also happens to be where that 21 EMA, this white line's at. Then you got, if you're going to play moving averages, you got like the 50 moving average at 12.5 cents. Could be another target there, but the VRVP indicator not really useful once you get past 11 cents here. Not really that much resistance. This thing could start going gangbusters and flying to higher prices here because there's not that much resistance until you come up to 16 cents, 17 cents. So I think after 11 cents, you could easily go up to like 16, 17 cents on this asset here. Let's see, are we getting a change of fortune here? Are we getting any bullish divergence here with the RSI? Got an oversold condition here on August 7th. RSI is creeping up, but I don't really see anything that shows me like bullish divergence yet. I do like here the MACD indicator here on the daily time frame that you're getting a MACD crossover to the upside, so maybe the buying pressure will start showing up here for Canton. You have the trend to the upside here, but you know we want to see very strong green buying pressure channels here. That's going to help you push you up to like 11 or 12 cents here. And then Market Cipher B. Market Cipher B showing you should have bought Canton on Saturday, August 8th. Got a green buy dot. Momentum is this blue stuff going to the upside. So maybe there might be something good here for Canton in the next few days. Maybe the next few weeks here. Thank you, Solo, for liking the live stream. Solo, did you follow me here? Go ahead and follow me if you haven't done so already. Appreciate the likes here. That's how we let TikTok know we got a good live stream here. Alright, let's take a look at the price of Bitcoin before I finish this live stream. And let me also take a look at my YouTube chat before I go. DZ still thinks Bitcoin is going to bottom at 58K. Alright, yeah, no. 57, 50, I think 57K, 57,700 is where we bottom out at on Bitcoin, but you might be right. You might be right. Let's look at Bitcoin on the bigger time frame here, the daily time frame. We did see Bitcoin bottom out on July 1st. Right when I decided to leave Costa Rica was when Bitcoin bottomed out here this year. Maybe if I go back to Costa Rica, it will start dropping again. I'm only kidding. But yeah, if Bitcoin, in all seriousness, if Bitcoin does drop down, first we have to lose this high volume node here at 62,700. This is where I would try to go long on Bitcoin. I think I got a long already at 60,500. Trying to see if I can get a little bit cheeky and score a lower price than 60,700. But you can see that there is high volume node here, literally at 62,700 here on WEEX Exchange. Lose that, and you might come down to this little high volume node here at 60,200. Start losing that, and then you got the value area low here at 58,900. That's where DZ thinks we're gonna bottom out here for Bitcoin and not go any lower. Maybe we make a double bottom here if we do drop down there. But yeah, don't lose 62,700, or else yeah, you will see. We could probably drop just as fast as we went up in the beginning of July here. But if Bitcoin's not going to be bearish, if we're actually going to get bullish here on Bitcoin, believe it or not, there is a point of control right above you. Should act as resistance at 63,800. Then it gets a little bit easier to go to higher prices because the resistance dies off. And value area high sitting at 66,200. I don't know if that's the value area high that I was using earlier here. I think I had this zoomed in a little bit, and it changed the chart up a little bit. And yeah, all right. So when I zoom in there, the value area high is now sitting at $65,000. So I think I'm already in a long on Bitcoin right now on WEEX Exchange, and I'm trying to take profit at 65K. I got in there. Actually, I got in right now at this price. I bet you if I look at my WEEX account, I'm probably breaking even on my long here. A little bit of a loss here because I got in at 63,391 here. All right, now that this thing is actually updating itself, I probably got to click refresh here. But when this thing does actually load up here, I got a little bit of a profit here. barely any profit. So yeah, Bitcoin is basically at the same price that I bought it at earlier earlier this morning. On the 1 hour time frame is a time frame I like to use for day trading here. I got my stop loss really tight. It's literally near the bottom of today. We saw Bitcoin get as low as 63,211. Was that really the price that I got down? No, that was yesterday. I think I had it right below these kind of wicks here. Yeah. 63,280. I think I literally have my stop loss at 63,280. So if Bitcoin comes down there and stops me out, whatever, I'm gonna lose like maybe $4 or $5 on there. Right? If I go back here, I got my stop loss 63,280, and I could lose a grand total of $4 plus transaction fees. So I got really tight there. And if we do come up to higher prices here on Bitcoin, there's a point of control here at 63,900. You can take a little bit of profit if you want. You can also take more profit at that 200 moving average. We saw it earlier today. We came up to that 200 moving average on the 1 hour time frame, this red line here, and we couldn't really get above it. So I would actually like to take profit at 64,400. It'd be about a 1,000-point move from where I got in at. And then I want to take more profit at 65K, where you got some more high volume over there. Alright, so yeah, there you guys go. I am looking to long Bitcoin right now. Stop loss really tight. I'll lose a little bit of money if I'm wrong. If we can't like climb out of here, then whatever. But I do got another long on Bitcoin at 62,500. And yeah, there's like, I believe there's high volume here around 60,500, 700 here. So that's the other area that I would like to long Bitcoin at if we're going to come down a little bit further here. But do we got momentum? Last time I checked, momentum was looking good. Like the beginning of the live stream, we got a green buy knot around 8 p.m. Now we got a red sell dot. What the hell? What the hell? What the hell? You guys aren't buying Bitcoin out there? No one wants to buy Bitcoin? We got a red sell dot that just came in just now for this canceling out the green buy dot about an hour ago. What the hell? Okay, let's see what the 50-minute time frame is doing here. Why is 15-minute time frame showing topping out signals? No. So I'm not sure if my long's gonna play out tonight, guys. Bitcoin might not have the momentum and the oomph to go up to higher prices, but I know tomorrow we will probably see something like, oh my god, literally like the last 15 minutes, we got this nasty red candle here. We were hanging out like 60,600, and then we just dropped down to 60,390. Ugh. Ugly. What up? What the hell? This could be a buying opportunity for those who are trying to buy in at the same price that I bought in a few hours ago. You could get Bitcoin for the same price that I got it at earlier today. So yeah, you got. I'm not sure how this is gonna play out here, guys, for Bitcoin. I could get stopped out. I could get stopped out on the long. But I think going into tomorrow, we should see some volatility like we did early this morning. Early this morning, we saw Bitcoin do that nasty drop after hitting the 64.4K level, the 1 hour 200 moving average. We saw that earlier this morning, and that was mainly because of the CPI report. We do have another report coming out tomorrow, and that's going to be the PPI report, the producer price index report coming out tomorrow. This might actually show more inflation because the CPI has to deal with consumer prices, but the PPI has to deal with producer prices. And usually the producers, like, you know, like, think of like your grocery store, right? Before they sell groceries to you, they have to go buy groceries, and if it costs more money from diesel fuel because oil prices are going up and all that good stuff, then the grocery store has to buy, you know, whatever the grocery. I'm just giving you an example of the grocery store, but any store has to buy their product from whoever's transporting it, and if they're transporting it with higher fuel prices, they're going to pass those prices down to the producers, to the retailers first, and then the retailers will then pass that price on down to the customer, which will be the CPI. So usually, if we see high oil prices here, it will show up in PPI first before it shows up in CPI. CPI, we had inflation come down just a little bit, as expected here at 3.4%, but you know, PPI report could show that the inflation, which we're expecting to be at 5.5%, it could be at 6%. And if that happens, I would expect a nasty move down on Bitcoin to lower prices here. Yeah. But the opposite could be true. If inflation actually comes down and it goes, you know, instead of 5.5, we get 5% or something lower than 5%, then I would expect Bitcoin to do a march up to higher prices here, right back up to 65 or even 66K. So maybe my long will play out here, depending upon what goes on tomorrow morning with the PPI report. So we'll be on the lookout for that. Expect some volatility tomorrow. If you're not in a trade, don't feel like you need to get rushed into a trade because there will be volatility. There's a chance that they could stop me out and then send it up to like 65K, right? So just expect the unexpected when you got like volatility and you got a big inflation report coming out. So that's to be expected tomorrow. Don't overtrade, don't revenge trade. This is my best advice for you guys for tomorrow. Okay. All right, guys, that's going to be it for today's live stream. If you want to continue the conversation and show me your gains here and ask me about the inflation report or whatever else you want to ask me about, there is a Meet Damien Discord channel. That's where we will continue the conversation at. For my YouTube guys, you just go to the description to the channel here. Should be the Discord link in there. I kind of have to scroll down a little bit, but there it is. That's your Discord link. Or you can click on the Linktree link, and that will take you to the Meet Damien Linktree, and then you got the Discord link right there. Free to join, not going to cost you anything. It takes you over to Discord, and this is where you can see where I go live and see what kind of trades we're getting into, the talk of the day, what I'm looking at. Like I was looking at the point of control for Bitcoin the other day here, saying that Bitcoin was at point of control 64K, and then it's the same stuff. 62,700 is high volume node there. But once you do get into trades, I suggest you guys to show us your gains here, because I know how hard it is to get into a trade and stay in a trade. But here we go. We got Nasir doing some trades here. And he was up 373% on a 10x long on BRU. Or BR, I should say. BR. And here he did a 10x long on B. Oh, wow. I know B had a drop down in price yesterday. Now it looks like B actually went up a little bit for Nasir to take advantage of that and be up 83% on it. But then you also see what I get into. I've been trading SpaceX. Did a 10x long on SpaceX, almost up 100%. Getting in at 109 bucks and closing at 121. And now what? SpaceX is at 147 bucks. I probably should have stayed in it, right? But yeah, this is where you guys could put in your trades. Show us what you're doing there. Here I am long in Bitcoin myself at 62,700. That magic level on the VRVP indicator there. And then closing out at 64,000 for a 248% gain. So yeah, guys, this is where we can hang out and share our trade ideas and our trading stories, and the gains, the losses. There will be losses. There's always losses in trading, but usually we keep it as small as possible, and we try to learn from it as best as we can, so we can see the P&L increase over time. Alright guys, that's it for this live stream. Let's plan on doing this again tomorrow. Same time, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Tomorrow is Thursday, right? Yeah, I'll be live tomorrow as well, 8 p.m. Eastern time. And we'll listen to some music on the way out. And I wish you guys the best of luck and whatever trade you decide to get into. Take care, guys. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. That's what I meant to do. That one.